4 great right-hand counters.
Good stoppage by the ref. That was a great stoppage.
Great stoppage.
He was getting
And
battered.
he told him before that.
I'm back! Danny Garcia says, I'm back.
You know, he did what he was supposed to do. He couldn't go the distance with Adrian Granados, and Adrian Granados was not going to get a decision unless he won all 12 rounds against Danny Garcia. On TstreeT Controversy, this is TstreeT Controversy
Garcia
Live.
35-2.
Let's mute it a little bit and talk. Let's see, where's my mouse cursor? So, Danny Garcia, two of his last 3 fights. Well, now he's 2-2 in his last 4 with losses to Keith Thurman and Sean Porter and wins over Brandon Rios and Adrian Granados. But most importantly, this was a stoppage win over Adrian Granados and the only person to ever stop Adrian Granados. And frankly, in my opinion, he had to. He couldn't go the distance with him. You know, no disrespect to Adrian Granados, but Danny Garcia is trying to get back into the mix in regards to being, you know, fighting for a title as being one of the best at 147 pounds. And right now, you know, his star has been fading a little bit. So even though he's still getting main event treatment, a guy like Adrian Granados, even though guys like Adrian Broner and Sean Porter couldn't convincingly beat him and knock him out, this is a big feather in the cap of Danny Garcia, but he's not going to get no credit for real, and that's a shame. So now it's about who's he going to fight next. And in my personal opinion, it makes perfect sense to me for him to fight the winner of for him to fight the winner of Terrence Crawford versus Amir Khan. Since you got Sean Porter and Errol Spence in deep negotiations for a pay-per-view fight in September from what we're hearing on Fox. And you have Manny Pacquiao and Keith Thurman who are supposed to be in negotiations for a fight on Showtime in June, July on pay-per-view. So when you look at WBO champion, well, that's Terrence Crawford. But once again, Al Heyman fighters, he likes to keep his fighters away from that WBO because they do finesse when it comes to their cahoots with Bob Arum and Yvonne Michelle. So before you know it, you know, Danny Garcia go fight, he'll fuck around, have 2 WBO mandatories if he want to win that belt. I'm not saying he would beat Terrence Crawford. Also, I'm not even going to tell you what happened, but go look up their history in the amateurs. So we're going to pause right here a little bit. And so far, the night's been flowing smoothly. Brendan Figueroa won. Felix Verdejo just beat Brian Vasquez. Christopher Diaz just entered the ring with Shakur Stevenson on his way. I'm going to give you a little clip here. I'm doing like a lot of duty here tonight covering all these fights. You know, I love my job, man. So what we're doing is we're waiting for Danny Garcia, you know, post-fight interview, and to see what he wants to do next, and to see if he's going to take. Oh, by the way, this is for the WBC silver. As you can see, he has the belt on.
Danny Garcia raising his record to 35-2. He said, "I'm back."
Let's listen in.
Began his career 33-0, had lost 2 of his last 3. There's his dad, Angel, in his corner celebrating.
Muzzled Garcia. They're careful to let him.
Jimmy,
like when they.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time.
What about Danny Garcia versus Jordanis Lucas?
Seconds in round number 7. A referee in charge, Thomas Taylor, stops the contest. He is the winner by way of knockout, Danny Swift Garcia.
Garcia, the winner by knockout. Adrian Granados knocked out for the first time in his professional career in his 29th pro bout. Granados dropping to 27-2 as Granados acknowledges the crowd. There's Garcia with friends and family on hand. Granados exits. The 29-year-old from the Chicago area. Stopped
they give
for
him
the
the
first
whole
time
walk
in
of
his
defeat.
career.
Well, you know, and the other thing is he finished on his feet. That's number one. It's the first time he's ever been stopped. He's been in there with a couple of world champions. Nobody even came close to doing that to him, aside from Garcia.
159
Granados had
punches
went
landed
down.
by Garcia.
What was
He
that,
threw
twice?
484. Connecting on
sure.
33%. Granados
Twice in
connecting
round
on
2 and once in
19%
round
of
5,
his
and stopped in
punches
round
thrown.
7.
Power punches. 125 landed by Garcia. Granados only 32.
You can tell Danny Garcia had the same
Go ahead, but there
mentality
it is.
he
Danny
had when he
Garcia was
fought
looking
Rod
right on right.
Salka,
That
as
little
if he
slip,
had no
come back
respect
out with the right
for
hand,
Adrian
and
Granados.
landed
He
it,
shouldn't have been
especially
in
the
there.
last round there.
And there he comes with the hooks. This was the first knockdown.
That was the first knockdown.
So
where
far, this
Granados
event has been
really
over
felt the
early.
power
You know,
of Danny.
3 stoppages for all 3 fights on the card.
There we go. There's that right hand. Of
Yes.
course,
Brandon
that landed
Figueroa's
all
opponent quit.
night.
Parejo. Alexander Dimitrenko quit in his corner against Andy Ruiz.
Yeah,
And now,
here comes that,
Adrian
that
Granados
right
stopped in
hand
7.
after the left hook to the body.
Boy, they're
There it
really
is.
dragging
There's
this
that head
out.
drop right there. Here comes the hook that he fell short
But
on.
I understand, you know,
But
this
look,
is one of
I mean,
the
this is the
PBC
type of
events
thing
on
Garcia
Fox that's
does.
been over the
He
earliest,
starts laying the
or
leather
hasn't
on.
run
This is
too
where Tom
late
Taylor came in.
since
This
they
is at
first
live speed right there. And
started
look,
broadcasting.
Granados is actually kind of mad. He's shaking his head.
With this new
I
deal.
wasn't hurt. I didn't want to stop, but they did the right thing. His corner wanted it stopped.
What do you
The
think
referee
about,
wanted it
Danny
stopped,
Garcia
and I
versus
think anybody
Ugas, though?
with any common sense wanted that fight stopped.
Can
there.
Danny Garcia do
Except
better than
him.
Sean Porter on
Like
getting
I
in
said,
on the
he's gonna go out
inside?
on
But he's a
on
warrior.
his- yes.
He's in a different mode than everyone else. He's in a war mode.
Philly, stand up.
There is Garcia's daughter, named Philly. Garcia, a Philadelphia native.
Also, please subscribe. Check
We'll
out our
return.
store down
Alejandro
below
will chat with
in the description
Danny
box.
Garcia
God damn,
with
another
the
commercial
PBC
break.
on Fox.
Shit, we'll be back.
Continues from
I'll be right back.
Carson, California. Garcia over Granados. 7th round knockout.
They using that hole till
I
10:30
knew
time
this
slot.
refreshing
We'll be back.
taste.
And Kota. To the ring
I like
we
how they
go.
got
Heidi
Billy
is with
Briscoe
Danny Garcia.
helping out. Shout out to Billy
Thank you
Briscoe.
very much, Kenny.
Helping out in Danny
Congratulations
corner.
to you. When you heard your name announced, we didn't see the tears, but when the little girl
Remember,
comes
he
into
trained
your arms,
Samuel Vargas,
that's when they start to
who
flow.
fought
Oh,
Danny
for sure.
Garcia.
First of all, I want to thank God. I want to thank my team. I want to thank Angel Garcia, one of the best trainers in the world, my brother. I want to thank Al Heyman, the Watson
Thank you, Al
family, Mayweather Promotions, PBC on Fox, everyone who was a part of it. Thank you so much. But yeah, man, it's always a blessing to hold my daughter. It's the greatest gift God ever gave me.
You know, you said this week, I'm going to be more dominant. And by be more dominant, I'm going to let my hands go when I see the opportunity. There was no more dominant performance than there was right here in this ring tonight. Did this go exactly as you
His daughter.
expected it to?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, when Danny Garcia at his best, no one can beat him. You know, I got a little comfortable in the past and didn't give it that extra mile, but I put my 110%, and this is what you get when you get 110%. Danny Garcia, one of the best fighters in the world.
You know, you dropped him in the 2nd round. He's a guy who's never been knocked out. Were you going for the knockout that early?
I think the statement was, I had to come in here and knock him out. Like I said before earlier in the week, I said a regular decision wouldn't be enough. I have to be the first man to stop him, and I did that tonight.
Yeah.
There's so much that looms ahead in 2019.
Yeah.
So many big fights to be made. This division is stacked. I saw a report that Manny Pacquiao was waiting to watch this fight to announce who he was going to fight next. Do you think you did enough to get your name in that mix?
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
Oh, yeah,
Forgot.
definitely. I hope I didn't scare him away. But, yeah, definitely. I would love that fight, and I would love definitely a rematch with Porter or Thurman or Errol Spence.
How are you going to celebrate?
Thank you.
How are you going to celebrate?
Oh, how I'm going to celebrate? I don't celebrate after my fights. I just go to sleep with my daughter.
There
Yeah.
you go. Well,
Thank
that's a good way to spend the evening. Congratulations on a great win. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
All right,
He's
thanks.
back.
Yeah. You know, he can get Pacquiao. I think it's between him and Keith Thurman. And I was just talking about that multiple times during my fight week buildup, and I was about to forget that he's in the running to get Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao is going to be fighting on Fox in look, they're showing Pacquiao highlights. It's going to be fighting on Fox and PBC on Fox in June or July, it seems, because Fox has been giving him some real like build up. So which means could we see Spence Porter on Showtime, they seem to be alternating the pay-per-views. You know, one fight's on this and one fight's on the other one. But I'm pretty sure Fox would love to have Manny Pacquiao as their next pay-per-view. You know, I'm really interested. You know, I would love to see Pacquiao versus Thurman. I mean, Pacquiao versus either Thurman or Pacquiao versus Danny Garcia. But because Danny Garcia is from Philly, I would like to see that more. And I think that that'll be more of an even, a better fight, because I think that Keith Thurman could really, you know, really hurt Pacquiao with his overall movement and speed, because I consider Keith Thurman to be the better overall boxer than Danny Garcia, even though Danny Garcia is the more powerful and the more feared, if that makes sense. Danny Garcia is powerful. People don't, you know, these fighters don't be really wanting to, like, trade with him. You know, and look what happened to poor Adrian Granados tonight. But anyway, I got to get to Diaz versus Stevenson versus Diaz. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. So, yeah, you know, it's possible. It's possible. It could be Danny Garcia. We're going to see. Please subscribe. All links to my social media right down below in the description box. This is TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live.